Today, I'd like to explore the benefits of having a more defined social media policy for both the company and employees. With the recent pandemic, all employees were working from home. We use social media to stay connected. However, the types of messages shared may be of concern to both the employer and the employee. The policy around employees' use of social media and other activities can be summarized as protect Apple's secrets, protect customer information and confidentiality, be kind. While these are good common sense, we would all benefit from more granularity in the policy. There are very real consequences for using social media in regards to work. While parts of the policies are spelled out in the business conduct document, there are lots of areas that could use more detail. Let's look at these other computer and technology corporations to compare with Apple's policy. Some of them are fairly similar and some are vastly different than Apple's approach. I'll examine a few key points of each and then share some pros and cons. Microsoft's Trust Code is their guiding principle for business conduct. The document provides a framework for building trust with customers, governments, and communities, internally, with investors, and public and corporate representatives. It doesn't speak specifically to using social media, but deals in more general terms. One of the main guidelines is, when making decisions, ask yourself, does this strengthen or harm Microsoft's reputation with investors and the public? It goes on to call out specifically not trading on inside information, keeping accurate records and contracts, communicating accurately to the public, and safeguarding Microsoft's resources to protect confidential information and intellectual property. This sort of vague policy is difficult to enforce unless a very clear infraction has occurred harm to the company. This can lead to misunderstandings and missteps. IBM's Trust Comes First is a fairly typical business conduct guidelines document. It does have some specific social media guidance, however. Anything said or written in public, from the town square to social media sites, will remain accessible longer than you intended and may be read at any time by anyone, whether a client, competitor, colleague, journalist, investor, or regulator. It also references a document called IBM Social Computing Guidelines. The URL is currently a broken link, but a search on archive.org reveals this information was up as of May 2020. Quote, in general, what we do in our own time is our own business. However, activities in or outside of work that adversely affect IBM job performance, the performance of others, or IBM's business interests will be reviewed in line with our company policy. Having a specific document is a step in the right direction. Hopefully, IBM continues this practice. Dell's How We Win is a business code of conduct that covers similar ground as Apple and Microsoft. However, this document has much more specific information in regards to social media and expectations around employee expression. There's a detailed social media policy that is publicly available as well. They break it down into 5 social media principles. Be nice, have fun, and connect. Protect information. Be transparent and disclose. Follow the law and the code of conduct. Be responsible. On the surface, these seem like vague platitudes as seen with other corporate policies. However, if you read the details specifically of be transparent and disclose, there's much more specific guidance around social media use. You should use the I work for Dell hashtag in any post that discusses Dell technologies. This disclosure needs to be in place that is hard to miss, so simply having it in your bio, buried between 2 other hashtags, or in a place that requires the viewer to click or go somewhere else is not disclosure enough. In a stark contrast to Apple's policy of not speaking to the press or public and referring to the public relations team, Dell encourages employees to share news and information. I think maybe Dell's policy goes a bit too far, but the benefits of a clearly defined policy allows employees to understand the expectations and the employer to enforce more concrete rules. So, what should we do? Let's take a look at some potential recommendations. Unlike Dell, Apple does not have clear guidance as to whether you should identify as an Apple employee when engaging in social media. This could become an issue if opinion could be conflated as fact based on where you work. It would also be helpful to have clear paths to official channels to redirect conversations that occur in the public sphere to public relations or the team that manages the corporate social media presence, social response. Once a new policy has been adopted or a significant update has been made to an existing policy, the people team would be in charge of crafting that policy. If there are concerns that need to be addressed with the policy change, employees can submit feedback and the review process would begin anew. The social media landscape is more varied than ever. Having a more explicit and concrete social media policy would have clear benefits for both the company and the employees. Thank you.